Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to join me. I really appreciate that. And so, a couple of things on my mind tonight. And I guess the first of which is the fact that I've set some personal goals, and now I'm having some time to really reflect and see where I'm at in the year with those goals. And so, for example, math really isn't my thing, but I know that the channel needs to have at least 1,000 videos by the end of the year. I know that our eBay store needs to be stocked with at least 1,000 items moving forward into November. And so I also know that if I don't do at least 4 vlogs every single day from now till the end of the year, there is a good possibility that we will not get to our goal. So, I mean, it's like we're at the finish line, and I've always said this and I always will say this. It's never how you start anything, and it's always how you finish, right? I also believe that a better offense or a better defense is the only way to beat the best offense. So I'm kind of more of a defensive guy and more of just a practical person in understanding sort of what's going on. I actually did just forget completely what I was talking about, but nonetheless, goals have been set, and I feel like we're doing a pretty good job of staying the course. And so it's absolutely imperative that I do make the time and have the energy and the conversational know-how to keep this going through at least till the end of the year, because when next year comes along, I really feel like I'd still like to continue to do 4 videos a day, but the pact with myself was to make sure that I did the 4 videos a day till the end of the year. And then that turned into a mathematical sort of equation catch up for me, and that I really wanted to get to 1,000 videos before the end of the year. And I mean, we're right on track. So we're not behind, we're not ahead, we're right on track. And it's better than where I usually am, which is, I guess, very far behind or so far ahead that I get bored and then I end up losing anyway. So it's just one of those things. But I feel like a little bit of self reflection at different intervals throughout the calendar year for all of us are essential to us learning from our mistakes and growing up. And I also am an astrological guy or an astronomy guy or whatever. Astrology, it's astrology. But Scorpio's coming up, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water baby. So I think it's interesting that anytime this time of the year comes around, I feel a little bit more energized. And it's probably a placebo. I get it. There's no magical correlation between star alignments and people's emotions and physical selves. Or is there? I mean, how many licks does it take till you get to the center of a lollipop? Like, you know, I mean, the world may never know. I don't know. You guys are probably way too young for that commercial, but there was a commercial where an owl would lick like a lollipop, a blow pop, the one with the gum in it, and he would like be like a one, a two, a three, and then he would just like eat it. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's been done. I don't want to Google it. I'm tired of Googling everything. Google, please just back off for a little while. All right? Just I don't want to know everything. I want to be I want to learn on my own. Also, I'm not really sure if you're correct all the time, but it's pretty safe bet to say that you are mostly right. Anyways, you know more than I do, Google, so there's that. Thanks for knowing more than I do and for more than like we all do. It's really appreciative, especially when you're trying to figure out little things like this, like how many licks it takes till you get to the center of a blow pot. Anyways, so that's kind of with judging where you're at in life. I feel like I did this a lot when I was younger. When I was younger, I was a real introspective guy. I would tell myself, in a year, I want to be here. I want to be doing this. And it was actually pretty a good way to get things done. And at some point in my life, I went away from that. I don't know if it was the year long struggle with addiction at some point now here in my middle-aged life, or just the terrible decision making prior to that, or I just feel like we all have to think about our actions before we perform any of them. And I mean that, like, even in the very most vague sense, in order to make plans, you have to have some kind of an idea of where you want to go. And as much as I love sort of just improving everything in my life, friendly reminder, all of these videos are in fact improv, and there's no script or anything cool and fun for me to refer to. In fact, it's so in the moment and just in time that sometimes I can't even really remember all of the things that we talk about. And can you blame me? We talk about a lot of things on this channel, not just this boring middle-aged getting older man's life, but we delve into some different categories here. And I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of what this channel has become. It may not be the most popular thing yet. It may not be the most action-packed, high production thing, but it is just straight old school YouTubing. And there's something about that. There's something about things that work, and if it's not broken, if it's you don't need to fix it kind of a thing. And there will always be a spot for people to sit in their room, put their phone on, and talk about whatever they want to talk about. That's just, again, a very human being thing to do. And I'm very pro human being. And in fact, I'm a populist. You feel me? I'm more concerned about the people that have less than I am for those who have already what they need. Not to say that those who already have what they need don't as equally deserve all of the cool perks that come along with bringing up lower classes. And I think it's important for those folks out there to understand, because I feel like most of the time people are just afraid that like someone's going to come and take their stuff. I mean, I think that's kind of what life in America boils down to, is like we don't want people taking our stuff. And I feel like that can drastically change. I feel like that kind of attitude and that sentiment is kind of a part of a larger problem here in America, almost like a disease. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't really allow for the kind of growth that society needs. And in fact, it really just kind of exacerbates the status quo with just irony. And sometimes things go so far to one side, it comes full circle kind of a thing. And that's a real thing. So it's really important to think about where we've been, think about what we're doing, and to think about where we're going and where we want to be. Because if you don't do those things, you do really run the risk of destroying your life. America is a wild place, and just a few bad decisions can really set you back here. And again, going back to more equality for everybody, doesn't it feel necessary for all of us to have the kind of same social net that those that already have that net understand what it's like to have? My answer would be yes. I want for people to live a life of comfort and choice, not pain and slavery. You know what I mean? And I just doesn't matter to me. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you don't believe in God. What I care about is doing the right thing and discussing how we can become better people. That's what I care about. You feel me? That's it. That's all. Like, make it what you want. If you're a good person because of your religion, if you're a good person because of the lack of your religion, whatever it is, good people are good people. And I'm interested in working with good people. Moreover, I'm anti-Freudian in that I don't think people are born monsters. I think that's a convenient excuse for people in charge to say about the rest of us, because we're all kind of treated like slaves most of the time. So I don't think people are born monsters. This is not something I think. I think that we're all born with an innate drive and thirst for like being curious and wanting to learn. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being curious. There's nothing wrong with learning. There's nothing wrong with seeking out knowledge. The only things that are side effects of those things that aren't wrong are the human driven thought that perpetuates the hatred that's often associated with hoarding those really cool things that we can all have, but we don't because of some greedy Homo sapiens out there who've deemed it not worthy for some people to have a decent life. And that's kind of weird, kind of crazy. Just saying, I think that it is. And in fact, I don't think that it is. I know that it is, which is why I'm so motivated to share my life and my experiences and hopefully at some point be a part, a very small part of a kind of change that is lasting and that matters. So I hope that you guys have a really, really good night. Vlogs are kind of all over the board here tonight, but I feel really good about them because that's kind of what they're always supposed to be about. And I hope that you guys have a really good night. Bye.